So in this video I'll be discussing the complete solution of problem B of Codeforces round 638 div 2. In this question you will be given an array, suppose like this, and you will be given a number k, and you want to check if all the sub-arrays of size k have equal sum or not. If they do not have equal sum, then you can make the array, or you can change the array in such a way that all the sub-arrays of length k should have the same sum. You can do that by inserting a number between these elements anywhere in starting or in between or in ending. You can insert a number of range 1 to length of the array. That is, if the length of array is 5 here, then you can insert number from 1 to 5 between any of these elements, so that the sub-arrays of length k should all have equal sum. So if we can make our array in such a way that all the sub-arrays of length k have same sum, then we have to print that array, or otherwise we have to print -1. So let's quickly review the constraint given in our input section. We can have t, that is the number of test cases, up to maximum 50. We can have the size of our array up to 100. We can have all the elements that are present in our array in between 1 and n, and our m, that is the size of our answer array, can be up to of size 10 to the power 4. And for the same array we can have multiple solution and we can print any of it. It is guaranteed that if we can make our array A beautiful, we can always make it with resulting length no more than 10 to the power 4. So the tip I want to share with you is that if you observe, our array size initially is very small compared to the maximum size of our answer array. Second, we can perform operations any number of times, that is no restraint on the number of operation. We don't have to minimize anything. Third, there can be multiple solutions for the given question. If you ever read these kind of things, then remember, while constructing your answer, first find what is the case in which your answer is -1. That is, you can't construct your answer whatever you will insert in the array. After that, make your answer as general as possible. That is, make the answer that will guarantee the result is right. Let me give you an example. Suppose we have an array like this and we have k equals to 2. So if you take the sub-arrays are 1, 2 and 2, 3. You cannot make this sub-array sum equal, as there are 3 unique elements, but the maximum length of your sub-array is 2 here. If you include 3 in this sub-array, then 2 will be left out or 1 will be left out. And if you try to include 1 in here to make the sum equal, then either 2 will be left out or 3 will be left out. These two cannot have the same sum, as these two cannot have the same numbers, same type of numbers. So we have concluded that we can't make a sub array that contain both 1, 2, 3, as max size of sub array can be only 2. So when our k is greater than or equals to the unique number present in this array, then we can construct our answer. Otherwise we cannot construct our answer. Now if we take array 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, k equals to 3, how to generate a general solution for this array? I know if you can insert a single one here and check all the sub arrays, that will have the same sum. But if you try to do that, that means if you want to check the optimal solution, the minimum number of insertion you can perform and make your sub arrays of equal sum, then there are a lot of things to consider. First you have to calculate the sub array, then you have to calculate their sum, If they are not equal, then you have to calculate what can be inserted here. So there's so many different things you have to check. We are not going to do that in these type of question. We will simply sort out our answer as simple as we can. For all n element, we generate a separate k-length subarray. Suppose we have here 5 elements, so we generate 5 subarrays of same length. What will be the elements in this subarray? The elements in this subarray will be the unique numbers present in array. That is, in this case, only 1 and 2 are the unique numbers of this array. So we will first include 1 and 2 in our subarray, but our length of subarray is 3. So we want one additional number. You can insert here 1 or 2, it's your choice. You can insert here any number between 1 and n, it's your choice. Then we will output this subarray 5 times, that is the number of element present in array. Why we do that? We do that because our first subarray will contain our first number for sure, because we have included all the unique number in our subarray. That means our first number must be present in our first subarray, and the remaining 2 numbers, we have supposed that we have inserted these 2 numbers after our first number. If we take a look at our second subarray, then 2 is our number that represent the 2 in our given array, and we have inserted 1 before 2 and 1 after 2. Likewise, we have done in 3 and 4 and 5. That means it guarantees that all our array elements are covered in our answer. Now we have to only check if all the subarrays in this new generated array have equal sum or not. To check that, let's check what are the subarrays. Here our subarray is 1 2 1, 2 1 1, 1 1 2, and likewise going on. See, all will have the same sum, because when we left out this first one and include the next number, this will be the first of next series, and these both series are equal. That means their first digit should be equal. If we exclude the first digit of first and include the second digit of second, it won't affect our subarray. The number of elements and the type of elements will always be the same. That will result that all our subarrays will have same sum. Now check, is our answer is max up to 10 to the power 4. That is the constraint given by the question. So we have constructed a subarray of length k, and we have added it 5 times in our answer, that is the length of n. So the total size of our answer should be k into n. That is, at most the size of our answer should be kn, and we know that the ranges of k and n is max to max 100. That means if we multiply 100 into 100, that is max to max, it will be of range 10 to the power 4, which is well satisfied. So in this way we can generate this general solution for our problem without doing much complicated work while finding the optimal solution.